I'm Dan.
And I'm Dudley.
Welcome to Deaf and Dumb.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How
Yeah?
are you? Do you have
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
What
has
changed?
changed?
Not much. I worked all week and then went and bought a Switch.
So you
Yep.
have joined the realm of Switch ownership.
Yes, I did. After
and-
much trial and error.
and Zelda.
Yes.
Which is, I'm just glad because after you got the Switch, I didn't hear from you for a whole day.
Yep.
It was nice not getting a tick. Going, I want a Switch. I can't have one.
After I got it, y'all were like blowing up my phone about like the new Justice League trailer and how blah y'all were like about it, and I was just like, what? I don't care. I'm playing a Switch.
So you've been playing?
Well, let me tell the story of how I got it.
Okay.
All week,
All right.
since you got yours, I've been wanting a Switch, right? I've been wanting to play Zelda.
Yeah.
Because you let me play it a bunch, and all I could think about was playing that game. And I was just like, I just want it. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I can't afford it. But then I was like, I did this little side job, and then did some other stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, I could probably afford to get it. But then, basically, the thing that kept me from buying it is that nobody had one. There weren't any anywhere.
Yeah.
I called on multiple days. I called several shops. I know that some, like GameStop got some earlier in the week, like on Tuesday. And so I called all the GameStops. I called around, and nobody had one. They had either, if they did have them, they sold them already.
Yeah.
And then I just hit all the stores within a radius of me, like. And I called all of them, and like, y'all got any Switches? No, nobody had any, not a single one. So I was just, while at work, I had a page open of Amazon, just refreshing every once in a while, watching for one to come up, and then then taking in all the scams and ridiculous pricings on some of them.
Oh, yeah. What was the name of a couple of them? You sent me a text message with a couple of names of the dealers.
There was probably a dozen Switches, alleged Switches for sale, that were that were under retail. Like the retail price is $299, right? Like these were going for like $250, and I'm like, there's no way. And there's like a dozen of them, and they're all brand new accounts that just launched. And I'm like, these are either stolen or they don't exist. You're never going to get them. Because all of them are like, ship within 2 weeks. And I'm like, there's no way. Yeah, no way that this is not, these are real.
Yeah.
And everywhere I looked, I was like, there's no way these are real. And then all the ones that were legit were like $400 for the most. $350 and up. Like $350 and up. In fact, a bundle went up at one point for, the bundle included the Switch, an extra set of controllers.
Yes.
And a memory card. That's it. Those three things, $750.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you could buy two of them for that price.
Yeah, that's just really... that's stupid.
Yeah. And
Don't buy that.
it filled me with joy, though, because they had a bunch of it had like half a dozen reviews, all of them saying, just wait. This is a ripoff. There's no reason to pay this much. Just give it a week, and there will be more.
Yeah, I mean, they've already said they're doubling production of them, so, there's no reason to pay $700 for one. Just be patient.
And some of the names made me laugh. The account names of the third-party sellers.
Yeah.
One of them was Positive Biz, and I was like, okay. And then that one, but the other one was called, what was it called?
Steel Keeper.
Steel Keeper.
Yeah.
And not STEEL, STEAL. And I'm like, you just basically said, I stole this. If you have one at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. And so I kept seeing those, and then I kept seeing the overpriced one, and I'm like, I just can't bring myself to pay more than retail, so I wouldn't buy it, spend the extra money. And then I just kept holding my breath that Amazon would get some more.
Yeah.
And Friday, had been watching, and from what I had read around, the word was that Amazon was going to get more the 31st, so next Friday.
Next week, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, at the very least, I'll wait till then, and I'll try to get one then. But then I saw, like, an article go live. This is how top on it. The article had been up for like 24 minutes, and I saw it. And
yeah.
I don't know where it was, but I found it, and just because I kept searching Nintendo Switch and saying that some Toys R Us were getting them out on Saturday. And so I was like, okay, well, the nearest one's like an hour away.
Yeah.
So I called, it was in Tyler, and I called them and was like, hey, y'all going to get any? And they were like, oh, we can't tell you what's on the truck. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm terrible on the phone. I have no assertion. Like, in person, maybe a little more. On a phone, I just can't do it. I'm just, like, not that pushy or anything. And I'm just like, okay, and I hung up. And then my buddy Max, who's a saint, he says, oh, I'm going to get this. I'm going to find out. He's like, I'm going to call them. I was like, you're going to call them? He's like, yeah, I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
And he said, there's one in Longview, too. And I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I'm going to call them both. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm going to talk to the manager. And so me and him went to lunch. While on the way to lunch, he called them.
Oh, you weren't even there?
Yeah, he went in his car, and he called them. And then so we got to lunch, and he said, I got good news and bad news. Tyler's not getting any until April. He says, but Longview, they're getting 10.
How did he find out?
Because he called the man. He asked for a manager, and he's a boss. That's why.
and he went with you, right?
Yeah, and so he was just like, man, I kind of want one. He's like, I might, because I had asked a few of my friends here if anyone wanted to ride with me, but they were all losers and busy. And he was like, well, he's like, I might go with you. Like, I said, well, hey, open at 9. I'd like to get there an hour early. So it means that we got to leave, and it takes about an hour to get there. I said, it means I'm getting up and leaving about a little before 7. And he's like, I don't know if I want to get up that early, but I'll let you know. And he texted me late at night, and he was like, you still going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going. You want to go with it? And so he went with me, and we drove an hour to this Toys R Us. Got, not knowing at all what we're going to get into, not knowing if we're going to get there and the shipment didn't come in, not knowing if it's just going to be a huge bunch of people there. And so we get there, no traffic at all. We get there, and we come around the building, and there's no one standing out front of the building. But there are about 3 cars sitting out front. I was like, okay. And there are people in these cars. And I'm like, they're all watching. They're all just waiting. They're just sitting. I don't know how long they've been here, but So we pulled in, parked, and I was like, well, I'm not sitting in the car. We're going to the door. And we get out, and we walk over to the door. And as soon as we walk out and headed toward the front door, they all get out and come over there too.
You started the
line. And so even though they were there before me, but I started the line. So it was weird. I felt like I was transported back in time. I have not stood in line for anything in ages.
I can't remember the last thing I stood in line for.
Yeah,
it's probably a movie, but I can't remember what movie.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, I haven't done this in ages, and it's weird. And then as soon as they were walking up, I'm like, y'all here for Switches? And they said, yeah. And they were talking about how one of them drove by at like 3 in the morning just to see if there was anyone here. And he said he saw no one, so he went and had breakfast and came back a little later. And the other guy said he drove by at 6 and saw no one was there and had breakfast and then came over. And so it's just like it was good to see other people who were as obsessed as I was.
Well, it's crazy. You can't find it. And because you've been talking about it, so I've been looking myself here in Houston because I was just like, I was
there's
sick
a lot
of
more
hearing
stores.
you come talking about it and, gripe about it. And I was just like, whatever, I'm going to buy this damn thing. And I'm going to buy it. And if he, he can pay me back whenever he can get it. And then, but I couldn't find them. I looked everywhere. And I don't have a whole lot of time for looking. So it's sort of like, I'll, check it out and see if they have it. And if they don't, then oh well.
I appreciate you looking, though.
Yeah.
But that means a lot.
If I had my own motives as well. I was looking for something for myself in the process.
Well, what were you looking for?
I was looking for
tell.
An amiibo.
Oh, you were hunting an amiibo. Which amiibo were you looking for?
The Guardian, which someone bought yesterday.
How funny! You know what amiibo I picked up with my Switch? The Guardian.
And the thing is, and that one I can't find that one anywhere. And apparently it's the popular one, and
they had one.
Yeah,
and they had one, and I saw it. I remember you talking about it, and I said, I'm gonna buy this, even though I didn't need to spend the money. I bought it because I was like, I'm gonna buy this just out of spite.
Yeah, and I had seen one. I saw it at Walmart before I got a Switch. And before I was gonna go get, it was the same. I had the Switch. It was the same weekend I had the Switch, and I was like, and I didn't care about the Amiibos really at the time. But now I'm like, I should have bought that. I should have bought it. Even if I end up not doing anything with it, I could have turned around and sold it for twice as much money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Amazon, well, you can get them cheaper now. When I looked at it, Amazon was selling them themselves for $45.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, now there's third-party markets, and you can get it for $20. But I kind of wanted to, buy it new. But and I may end up just buying it off there anyways, just trusting one of the.
I've had it. I spent I've had it just hanging out next to me while I've been playing.
Yeah. And I have one of them. I just, wanted that one.
Yeah.
No.
And so I stood in line for an hour, talked to these random strangers, and we all nerded out about games in general, and we talked about, other times it was hard to get consoles. The last time we dealt with trying to get a console, and I have not personally bought a console, excluding portables. I have not bought a, full console since the 360.
Well, technically, this is a portable.
Well, yeah, but it is and it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so
it's pretty portable.
it's portable. So I guess I haven't bought one since the 360 then.
Yeah.
But so it was really fun. We hanging out and talking to these random people, and then they came out. They gave us each a little ticket thing and says half of you will go to. We have 10. We'll put 5 of you at one register, 5 at another, and we'll get you all taken care of. And as far as I know, everyone who was there got one. Everyone who wanted one got there. There wasn't like a bunch. There was more than 10 people, but some of them were just kids and stuff. And so as far as I know, everyone who came got one. So
nice.
I don't know if they sold them all or not. But I was one of the first ones to check out and get out of there. But yeah, of course. Then I had I was there, and I was like, oh well, I need the game too. Do y'all have it? He's like, oh, is it maybe on the shelf? Well, we went over to the shelf, and that's how I saw the amiibos that they were there, and I was looking. I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab this. And then they didn't have the game on the shelf. They had one of those you take this somewhere to get this game. So we had to go back to the front, and then he had already come back with a stack of them. So I was like, oh, cool. And so I got that and the amiibo and all the stuff. And then and Max, it was funny because Max was like, man, I kind of want to get one too, but he's like, I just can't spend the money. And I was like, and the guy came out and handed him, he was standing next to me, so technically he was at the front of the line, and the guy handed him a ticket first.
Oh, really?
I swear he must have been tempted to just keep it, but he was just he's like, no, I'm not getting one, and he handed it to me.
If I was in his situation, I probably would have got one. I mean, if I didn't already have one, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But and then I brought it back, and we hung out, and he watched me play, and I let him play it a little bit so he could kind of try it out, and he wanted to. He hung out with me, and it was cool. And it was a lot of fun. It was a fun morning. And then I did nothing else that day.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true, but I spent most of the day playing Zelda.
Yeah.
At one point, because I played till we got back at 11. I played till noon. Went and had lunch. Came back. Started playing some more. And then at some point I noticed it was 3:00, and I was like, I need to take a break. And I had a show I was watching, so I was thinking about watching some more of it. And then I was like, but I'm just gonna do this one more thing, and then I'm gonna save and quit for a little while. And then the next thing I know, I looked, it was 5:30.
So 2 hours had gone by.
Yeah, 2 hours, 2 more hours.
Yeah.
2.5 more hours went by. And I was just like, I need to stop. I had to take a break.
Yeah.
I took a break to eat some dinner and then watch some shows and
Yeah, I kind of did that yesterday as well because I was like, oh, I got to be productive today. I had some stuff I need to do, and I was like, I'm gonna just play my Switch for a little bit. And then next thing I know, I was like, oh, it's 3 o'clock, and I've done nothing. I guess I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I just spent the day basically doing everything I was planning to do yesterday because I got lost in the Switch and Zelda and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I did attempt to go get an amiibo yesterday, but because I looked online and I was like, okay, someone's got to have one. And I searched all the stores. All of them were out of stock. And then I got to Target, and it says limited stock. I was like, okay. And it's not far. It was like 20 minutes away. So I was like, I'm going to go to it and grab one of these. I get over there. They had amiibos, but not the Guardian one. They had all the other ones. Or 3 of the other ones. And I was like, so limited stock just means you have amiibos? I was just like, okay. So I was kind of annoyed about that, but it was fine. It got me out of the house.
Limited stock means you have none.
It basically means, no, you don't have one. I should have called them. And then if there was there, bribed them to hold on to it for me. But... yeah, and I looked on Best Buy, and it says there is no Guardian amiibo within 250 miles of my location. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not getting one right now.
Yeah.
So, came home empty-handed.
I was worried. There was a moment of, like, I'm going to drive an hour, get there, and either they're not going to have any, or I'm going to get there and I'm going to be last in line and not get one because they sell them out or something, and I'll come back empty-handed and I'll feel stupid for driving 2 hours for nothing.
Yeah.
But I came back and I was happy, and I've done nothing but play this game. I stopped last night and watched my show, finished my show, and it was like 11 o'clock. And I thought about getting it back out again, but I was like, if I start playing it, I'm going to stay up to way too late. I need to go to bed. Yeah. So I end up just making myself go to bed.
Yeah, I've got a routine going right now. So I get home from work, I eat dinner, and then I play until 10:30, and then I read, and then I go to bed. So I've got a cycle going, so I've been pretty good about not like trying to stay up late and play.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to do that. But yeah, so now you're deep into Breath of the Wild.
I am pretty much past I caught up on all the story stuff that I was at from playing on yours, because I had to start over. There was no way for me to get my old save.
Well, yeah, you can't transfer save files. Right?
Yeah, you can't transfer, and you're 3 hours away. But and so I just started over. And I pretty much have caught up to where I was. In fact, in a lot of ways, I'm further along. Because on the one hand, I just blew past a ton of shit that I never noticed while I was playing it the first time.
Oh, yeah. That's
like
the whole game.
Great Fairy, didn't ever see her.
Yeah.
I didn't. There was a couple of
I missed her
of shrines
too.
I didn't. There was a couple of shrines I never saw. There's like items I didn't get. There's tons of stuff I did not see, or just like, oh, that's how that works, or oh, maybe I should talk to people. I got to the first little village. What's it called?
I don't remember.
Something Keller. It starts with a K. I don't remember what it is.
The K
first
village.
You get, the K village. I got to it, and then I was talking to people, and I did all these side quests. I did like a dozen side quests just from talking to people, and I just completely was like, hey, I went from, like, in my first game, I had like 100 rupees, and I was just like, I just have those little money, and everything costs too much. So now I'm like, oh yeah, I've got tons of money. I'm like sitting on 800 right now.
I have like 1,300.
Yeah, though you know there's a house.
Yeah, you can buy a house.
I discovered that in H-Town.
I haven't done it yet, but
in
H-Village. We don't need to spoil too much on the show. We want people to appreciate it. But yes,
yeah, I know that.
There's so much.
That's not spoiling anything, except I didn't know you could get a house.
Well, yeah, exactly, because I didn't spoil it for you.
Oh, well, okay. I was worried that you hadn't actually seen it. Because I didn't find it the first time I was playing.
I saw it. I haven't bought it or anything.
No, because it's expensive.
I haven't even found out how much it is. I just like, oh, okay, I can buy this at some point. And I'm like, oh, there's a mountain I need to climb. That's like me in this whole game. It's like, let's climb that mountain.
I should, I should really buy some property and settle down. Well, there's a mountain. Let's climb it.
There's probably a Korok seed on top of it.
I love the Korok.
I do too.
There's so many of them, and there's a bunch more that I didn't even notice. Like didn't even get how to do them the first time.
Yeah, I watched you play, and I was like, "There's a Korok seed right there, and you don't even know it."
No.
There's one you walked right past it, like, "Yep, you just missed the Korok seed." But I was like, "He'll figure it out." But it's good. We were talking about last week the docking and the screen scratching thing with the Switch.
Yeah.
And like after we spent all this time talking about ways to avoid scratching it and maybe getting a stand and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So like Monday or Tuesday, our buddy Graham texted us and was like, "You dumbass."
Which
basically.
It's basically his job, is to be like, you guys are idiots.
You guys are stupid. And he goes, just buy this. And then it was a screen protector, a good one. And he's like, just buy this. I have it. It's great. You can't even tell it's on there. So, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, that makes complete sense.
People have been doing this for their phone for years.
Yeah, and I was like, oh. So I just bought it like the same, like after he said it. And I put it on, and it is great. It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's this. It's called an AM film, tempered glass, and it comes with 2 of them. It comes with everything you need to clean the screen, and it tells you instructions how to do it. And you put it on there, and you get the bubbles out, and then you can't tell it's on there. I mean, you can see it's raised the glass a little bit, but that's it. It's really well designed, and it fits it perfectly. So
so you have 2. You're gonna bring me that other one?
No, I need it.
What? But you already have one. Why do you need that one?
Because I'm probably gonna scratch this one at some point. And I'll need to replace it. I was worried when I put it on. There was a big bubble at the top that I could not get to go away. And I was like, man, okay, I'm just going to leave it. Maybe it won't bug me or whatever. And if it really is bugging me, I'll put the extra one I have on there. Cause they're only
That's why they send you 2.
Yeah, it's only $11. They're pretty cheap. And then, like, the next, I let it sit. I put it in the dock station. I played at it for a couple days. And I picked it up later. The bubble was gone.
Oh, yeah?
It was just gone. It was just, I guess it had, sitting in the dock, had worked its way up, and it just went out.
Yeah.
And it was gone.
Oh, nice. Gravity had taken hold?
Yeah. So, no bubbles. And
no bubbles.
And protected screen. Now I just slam that thing in there, and I don't worry.
No bubbles and full protection.
Full protection. Yep. But yeah, it works really nicely. So thank you, Graham, for setting me right on my ways.
Thank you for telling us we're idiots.
Yeah.
It's simpler than you're making it.
Yeah. Don't buy a bunch of random stuff you don't need. Just buy a screen protector. And it's funny because Robert texted me as well. It was like, oh, Rob. Yeah, Bro Rob. He was texting us, and he goes, "Is it really a big issue?" And go, I'm kind of wondering what I should do whenever he eventually gets one. And then as soon as he texted us, we're like, "Just buy this." We're dumb. Don't listen to us. I mean, listen to us. Just don't take us at our word.
Yeah, just there are we're not always on top of these things.
No.
No. Nor do we ever plan to be.
Nope. Nope.
Have you played anything else this week?
I have, actually.
Yeah.
I
did up until yesterday.
I played Splatoon 2.
What?
They had a test fire.
Is it out?
No, it's not out yet. They had what they called a test fire. It's like testing the servers, I guess.
Okay. So it's a beta.
It's a demo basically, and you get.
Or as they say in England, a beta.
A beta. They had a deal where you could download it, and this weekend for certain periods of time you could play. And so I had downloaded it last week, and then so I played it Friday night when the testing was going on. So I got to play for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never played Splatoon at all.
No, not at all?
No. So I knew nothing about it, so it was a little bit of a learning curve for me because I didn't know how any of it worked. But it's good. It's fun. It's the controls were weird. I was texting Graham about it, and he was playing too, and he said, "Yeah, turn off the motion controls." And I was like, "Oh," because the default uses the tilting of the controller to look up and down.
Oh,
and
that's weird.
And it's weird, and so I had kind of started getting the hang of it when he said, "Hey, you can just turn that off." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I did, and then it just goes to joystick. Well, then I had gotten so used to it, but then it was also inverted by default. Like, I was also not used to it, so I was doing really bad with that. And then so I inverted it, but I had gotten used to the other one because I had to play through a whole game before.
It sounds like, Dudley, let me stop you for a second. It honestly sounds like you're just terrible at this and making a lot of excuses.
I did really well. Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My team did really well.
I mean, by me doing well, I mean my team did really well. I personally may or may not have contributed, but
I was always second from the bottom, or last, one of those. But it's the concept of that game is really interesting and it's great. It's pretty fun. So I may be keeping an eye on that. I don't know if I'll pick it up when it comes out, but I might.
Yeah, I played the first one on the Wii U with Brob, and I liked it, but you know it was pretty cool. I liked the concept. I liked the way that it worked. It was kind of cool idea.
Yeah.
Where you're just like you're fighting each other, but you're also fighting over just coverage. You're just like it's an area control via painting the ground. Yeah. It's cool.
It's cool, and you can look at the map and see who's winning, and it's like there's no like score of who's killed each other or whatever.
It's just looking at how much area you're covering.
My color is pink. We gotta get the pink everywhere. And it's good. So I wish there was more. The only issue was that it took forever for me to get into my first game. Like the first game, I sat there for 10-15 minutes with it just running while I was on my phone trying to connect into a game. But my guess is there was a lot of people trying to do the beta or whatever, the demo, whatever you want to call it. The test fire is what they call it, but that the servers, and that's kind of the whole point, is to see how the servers handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So we'll see. I don't know when
is
that
already over, or is that?
I think there was some. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know when I think it's all weird times. I think.
Okay.
Because it's all set up at a random time for different regions. So like.
Okay.
One of them was like 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Or 4 or 5 a.m. our time, and so it's just like when I played, it was 10 p.m. Friday night. So you just kind of had to look at the time but they were always only an hour each one. So
okay.
So it's a small window.
Yeah. Huh. I started because my buddy Max, who's a saint, I had lent him. Because he said he never played Dark Souls, any of the Dark Souls games. So I was like, well, do you have an Xbox 360? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I'll let you borrow my copy, because I have it on the 360. And I borrowed it a couple of weeks ago. And so he's been playing Dark Souls for the first time.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. And I've just been like, and I'm just like, so So where are you? Like, what have you done? Have you been to the bonfire? Yeah. He's like, okay. So what did you fight next? Like, what? And I was trying to get a gauge of where he is in the game, and he's like, and he's progressing well. He's rung the bell, the first bell.
He's rung the bell. Rung the bell.
He's rung
the bell. Has been rung.
The first bell. One of two. And I've been talking to him a bunch, and so, like, giving him tips, because he's, like he said, he's never played it, so I was, like, kind of giving him I think it's helpful to have somebody who knows how that game works to be like, this, you kind of explain how the stats system works.
Nope.
Like, no, I had you and Josh.
And I had nobody. I pushed through that stuff and learned and figured it out on my own, because that's where the fun is.
Well, I'm not talking about like the individual situation. I'm talking about just like what am I looking at when you're looking at character sheets? Because their character sheets are kind of overwhelming.
Yeah,
but
and that's the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to know what any of that does. You're just putting numbers in and hope it works. That's Dark Souls.
Yeah, and so I've been kind of vicariously living, like, getting nostalgic from him playing the first Dark Soul, and because of that, I went and started playing Dark Souls 3 again earlier this week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I picked it back up.
Yeah, I need to get back to that.
It's so good. Yeah. I spent a good chunk of last weekend and earlier this week playing Dark Souls 3.
And that's done now, because you're going to be playing Zelda.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm torn because it's so good, and I actually was progressing. I beat another boss, and I was like moving forward. I'm like, oh man, I need to play this some more. But I have Zelda too, so it's gonna be a huge problem.
Yep.
But
Zelda's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you should play other games. That way, I can keep playing Zelda. And we don't have other stuff to talk about on the show.
All we talk about now is Dark Souls 3 and Zelda.
Yeah.
And then whatever tabletop game I happen to play that week.
Yeah, that's true. We should try to. I'm going to be coming in next weekend, so maybe we should try to play something. Play a board game.
Try to do something. Yeah, definitely. Or we could sit side by side and play Zelda.
Or we could do that too. That's going to happen anyways, but
that's going to happen.
We could socialize outside that as well. So it's cool. Well, Dark Souls good. I've said this before. I would if there was a service that allowed you to erase a part of your brain that remembers certain video games. Like if they had that technology locked down, it was to a science perfect. I would use it so quickly and go back and play
really? I don't
Metroid.
Think I would.
Super Metroid. I would go back and play Dark Soul, and if
see out here, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
I just want to read.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you because while on the one hand I do enjoy nostalgia, I mean a big part of this show has been us talking about playing things that hit for nostalgia. We could have called this show nostalgia, but because it seems like all we talk about is the good old days of playing games that were awesome, and then and then comparing them to new games and how they're like some of the good old games. I mean, even in this we talk about like Zelda being like Dark Souls and being like
Dark Souls is not the good old
Shadow of the Colossus, both older games. But anyway, but I don't think I would want to forget them because I would have done things in there, especially like for example, I always think about like Fallout, the original Fallout game, playing those. I don't think I would want to forget them because I did so many ridiculous things in those games that I don't want to forget, and if I play through them again, I may not do them again. So I'm more apt to keep those memories and keep forging forward in some of these great games, new games like Zelda, which I can build new memories in.
Yeah, that's true. But I would, if I could, it's one of those things like Fallout. It's really hard for me to go back and play the old Fallout games because I had played them so much and done so much in them that I can't really. I'll play for a little while and then I get tired of it and I stop playing. So I just miss that sense of adventure and that not knowing and really I just want an old school Fallout game again or a old school Metroid again or
And I'm curious about how much of it is because you played the game a lot and you know the material, but also how much games have changed since then. Like how
true,
games
yeah.
are made. I bet that has a lot to do with it too. Is like I've noticed, like going back and playing some old games, the pacing now in a lot of ways is a lot faster.
Yeah.
And so playing some of those old games takes a lot more patience than I may or may not have. Though playing Torment, the new Torment game, I found myself enjoying it mostly because it was making me be patient in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And take just, to read stuff and to just take my time and not get in a hurry, which is another game I'm going to try to play some more of too.
Get back to the tides.
The tides.
Yeah.
Zelda's so great.
Yeah.
So many crazy things keep happening. I keep messing up and doing funny things. You'll find like hidden around like these metal chests that are buried in the ground. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
And you use the device to get them out.
Yeah.
And I was up on like this mountain and I pulled it out and it fell off the mountain and fell in a river.
Yep. I've done that.
So I had to go like fish it out of the river.
I had that happen and then I lost it in the river. I couldn't find it. I had a deal where early in the game where I got this big new sword that was better than anything else I had gotten. And I was like, walked over to a mud pond and was like trying to get some chair. And then I hit the wrong button, threw it into the pond. And so I was standing there going, I can't get that back. That's gone. Oh well. I didn't even use it. I never took a swing with it. I was like, other than just to throw it into the pond. I went all lady in the lake with it. I'm waiting for Zelda to show up with his broadsword and be like, "You lost this."
I did something similar. I was hunting this deer, and I was sneaking up on it, and I was going to draw my bow and shoot it, and all I did was throw the giant axe that I had on my back, and I was like, and it ran away, it scared it, and I'm like, shit!
Well, yeah. I would be afraid of an axe coming at me. It's fun, and there's so many little elements to it, and it's great. I have close to 40 hours in the game already.
Yeah, I don't know how many hours I have in it, because it won't tell me yet.
The hour counter's really delayed for some reason. I don't know if mine's
You have to own the game. You have to own the game for 10 days before it'll tell you.
Oh, really? That's what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked it up. I'm like, what's up with this? It says, you got this game a day ago. I'm like, yeah. How much have I played it? It won't tell me. Once you get past 10 days.
Okay. That's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah. I've had 30, I'm probably up to 40 hours now. I'm only maybe a quarter of the way through it.
Yeah. I probably have 7 or 8.
Oh, yeah. You just got it.
And I've had it for a day and a half.
You're going to make it your full-time job? 8 hours a day?
I was in my room. I had it docked, and I was just I was sitting in my chair, and then I moved to my bed, and I was just laid out in my bed, and that's how I ended up sitting there for 2.5 hours playing before I realized it. But then today I made a point of like, I'm gonna take it off the dock. I'm gonna go portable. I'm gonna go sit in the living room on the couch and hang out with my parents. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there, and Mom started watching me play.
Yeah.
And I think she really likes it. She's been completely enamored by it, and like watches me climbing stuff, and she laughs, and she watches me sneaking up on stuff, and she's just completely. She likes it. She likes the Koroks. She likes watching me play that game, and she likes watching me throw things at things. She loves it. She's been like. She made a point, like, I was going to dock it to charge it. She's like, oh, well, once it's charged back, you should bring it back in here. Like,
our mother, if she was our age, she would totally be a gamer.
She is. She plays Animal Crossing religiously.
She is a gamer for her generation, she would be considered a gamer. She doesn't play a lot, but she plays Animal Crossing a lot.
Yeah, she was playing it today. She plays it almost every day.
Yeah, and I just I just wonder what she would have been like if she had grown up in our era with our, playing, and she's told us stories where she was like playing Nintendo while we were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just like, we had the NES.
No. And I don't know if I've told this on the show. One of my early memories is like we would go and like rent games all the time. We had the Super Nintendo and stuff. Yeah. And one of the games our mom loved was Bust a Move, which is a great game.
Yeah.
And she loved it. And nothing made me more proud of her than like one of my earliest memories of was, you and me and Brob shared one big room, and our beds were like my bed was in the middle of the room, y'all's were on the other side. Yeah. My bed was in front of the TV where the system was set out. And she would come in there after we've all gone to bed. I would kind of be laying there like kind of pretending to sleep, and she'd come in there and sit in a chair and play Buster Move. She would just sit there like the middle of the night, come in there and be playing Buster Move. I'd wake up and she'd be sitting there playing Buster Move, and that's what she would do before she would go to bed. After we'd all gone to sleep, we weren't bugging her or doing anything. She'd come in there and play a game, and I loved it. It was, I don't know, it's like this weird memory of I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's one of my favorite memories, and it's fun to think about.
Yeah, our mother's cool.
Our mother's awesome.
Our mother is cooler than yours.
Our mom's the best.
Yes.
But yeah, she was griping to me today because she didn't like the haircut she got in Animal Crossing. She was like, I'll have to go and fix it tomorrow. She got this haircut and she didn't like it, and then she went to try to get it fixed, and all they did was dye it purple, and it made it worse. And so she was like, I'll just have to get it fixed tomorrow. And then she was like all annoyed. She was showing it to me. It looked terrible. It was a terrible haircut. And so she was like, I'll just put this mask on. And she put this like dragon mask on and was just walking around wearing it.
It's funny. It's always funny to me seeing her perspective on the games, because she always kind of looks at different things than what we look at, and it's always funny. It always cracks me up, and so it's always a joy. So I wish we could find there was more like games I knew she would like on like the DS and stuff, so we could get her more stuff. But it was just hard to know what she would like.
I've looked at a few things. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but
we're going to get her some more games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played Guildball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I tried out finally. Yeah, huh? Yeah,
we don't have time.
We do, because I got to talk about Brainpan and Memory.
Oh, you got to play your new.
Yeah, we sat and played a game in a really reasonable amount of time. Normally, we talk too much, we start too late, and so we never finish the game. Like, more often than not, like 9:30 rolls around, I gotta drive back home. It's 30 minutes drive for me to get home, and Gary, our buddy Gary, hosts us, and he's gotta go to bed for work and all that stuff. So, like, he kicks us out by that point. But Gary and I played Guildball, and we started at a reasonable time, and we finished at like 8 o'clock. We finished the game.
You finished?
I lost. Yeah, I lost.
Of course
but it was a really good game. It was you had to get 12 points to win. It was 12-6. And I started off strong.
That's not close, Daniel.
No. In Guildball, that's pretty close. It's a good game. Anyway,
1 to 12. It's pretty close.
No, it's not. You can't score 1.
Oh, well, I don't know the scoring system.
You can score 4 and 2.
Okay, whatever. 2 to 12.
Which I scored 2 points on like my first activation because you get 2 points by knocking out another an enemy player, one of their models, and so I charged one of his models right out the gate and killed it, which was really cool, and we were both going, holy shit. And but Brainpan and Memory they're weird, but they're really cool, and because he's just like Memory, the little puppet, is constantly moving. Like every round, every time someone does something, he moves 2 inches, and he's just constantly wiggling around the map and doing. And it was a good game. Like it was like I feel like that's how all the games should be. In fact, I think when you watch people play tournament and do it all the time. That's how their games are. They're just fast, a lot of action, and they're done fairly quickly. Like within a reasonable amount of time. We're just finally hitting our stride on knowing how to play because we're playing regularly enough to know it, and we're not talking too much. Or usually there's 3 of us and 2 of us are playing and one of us is being distracting.
Well, the good news is now is when you go over there and you're not playing, you can play your Switch and be less distracted.
Yeah, I think I'm not playing this week, but I will go over there. I'm gonna hang out and I'll bring my Switch. I was gonna bring my laptop and play Torment. I might do that too. I haven't decided yet, but I will definitely bring my Switch just to show it off.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it was a really good game, and I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to playing it some more.
Yeah, cool. Okay, any other games you want to cover? Okay, that's good. We don't have time. Yeah. Moving on. News, because we have news we have to talk about.
No, do we?
Yes.
Dudley, the description of this show is changing. All it's gonna say is. 2 dumbass twin gamers talk about Zelda. That's all it's going to be now.
No. I have something we have to talk about. It was announced this morning that StarCraft
I know what this
is being remastered. StarCraft Remastered, it was announced by Blizzard this morning, coming out this summer.
Yeah. Which is funny, because we were just talking about this week.
Yeah, like we were just talking about it with Graham not long ago, and so we're very excited about it. So it's going to be the original game, original campaign, with the expansion Brood Wars. It will also have LAN support, which we're
which is important to us.
Yes, very important to us, and also almost unheard of in most games now.
Yeah.
So... That's exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. I'm excited. I'm wondering how much it's going to cost.
Probably $60.
Surely not. I'm going to guess. I mean, let's go ahead and let's say $30. I say $30.
You realize the original box set is still $40.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, then $40. It's going to be $40.
I think it's $40. It may be $30.
$30 is closest without going over.
Yeah. So it's gonna be that. That's great. Also from Blizzard, they've updated the. It used to have BattleNet. We talked about that. They're doing away with the BattleNet brand. Well, now if you update your BattleNet launcher, it will no longer say BattleNet. It will say Blizzard. It'll just say Blizzard, and the Blizzard launcher,
Blizzard app, or something like that.
Yeah. So they've done away with
mine this morning.
Yeah.
Because I mostly loaded it up so I could update Overwatch. So maybe at some point, if I decided to stop playing Zelda the next month,
I feel bad for Robert because he was playing Overwatch with us, and then now we're not playing it at all. We're all just sitting here playing
with the intention of
Zelda.
I'm gonna. Yeah, well, he had texted us about playing the other day, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play. And then I realized I hadn't updated it since the new character came out, and I was like, and then my internet was being dumb, and so I was just like, it's probably not going to happen. And then I updated it today. I ran it this morning while I was playing Zelda, just so it would update and be ready so like we can play it at some point. I do want to play it some more. But,
I definitely do, too. It's just going to be like 2 months later.
Yeah, it's gonna be a couple of months, Rob. Just
be a
hang
new
out,
game.
Rob. We'll be back on in a couple of months.
And by that time, he'll have the Switch, and he won't be playing with us.
Just think, this is weird. Like, I'm trying to think. When has there ever been a time where all 3 May brothers have owned the same console,
excluding the DS?
I mean, the DS probably, the DS and the Game Boys are probably...
That's not even the case, because I had the 2DS, and you had the 2DS, but Robert had the 3DS, so we didn't all have the same one. It might be the first time.
Yeah, because, I mean, even when I bought my 360, you had a 360, but Rob never got one.
No, Robert has a 360 because
he inherited one of our old.
He inherited my old one. I sold it to him cheap, I think, and because I upgraded mine, and so we all own a 360.
Okay, but we didn't buy them when they at launch.
At launch, no.
Yeah,
no.
Which is weird. Of course, it's not technically. It's a month out, but still, it's the same.
Yeah.
Within the same year it came out.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I think that's just because when the Wii came out, I didn't like. I thought it was fun, but you and Rob both got a Wii, and I just didn't really care. And then same with the Wii U. Robert got a Wii U, but there was never anything I had to play. And
Wii U lost me as well. Because the Wii was fun, but I didn't really get a lot of play out of it. Game time, and after a while, I just stopped playing it, and then it collected dust. But Nintendo brought me back. So we'll see how it goes. I'm in it now.
For the first time in decades, I'm excited about a Nintendo system. I was excited about a Zelda game, and I'm intrigued by a Mario game, which I haven't been in years. Same with Zelda. I have not since Wind Waker. I have not been that into. Well, that's not true. Link Between Worlds was the last one I played. It was the portable one, but of the main console ones, I haven't cared none of them have interested me.
The last one I played was the one with the wolf. I forgot the name. Twilight Princess. I played that one. That was the last one I played. And there's been another one since then. So
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, what was on the Wii U, so I never played it. But okay. Somewhat related, not really at
topical?
All. So, topical, maybe? So, Kirby. Let's talk about Kirby.
Oh. Is this about the thing I sent you?
You sent me something, but I've also discovered more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I want all our listeners. You must, once you finish listening to the show, go to Google and Google.
No, you can do it at the same time. It's an audio podcast. You can just listen and then search while you're. Yeah, if you can multitask.
It will distract you though. But here you go. Google Kirby's feet.
Yeah,
Kirby as in Kirby. The little pink ball that's in Smash Brothers and all. Has his own game stuff and whatever. Because he wears red shoes, and it's always been...
Or what appeared to be red shoes.
And there's apparently this discussion online about is he wearing shoes, or is that his feet? And because of that, there has been some artist renderings of him taking off his shoes and revealing his very human feet. And... It is weirdly delightful.
It is. That was my response. I saw it, and I was like, I Googled it some, and I was just like, what am I looking at? And there were so many variations, and then I was like, I found one I really enjoyed, and I sent you a series of pictures of him sitting down, taking his shoes off, and standing up with these very human-looking feet, and it looks, on the one hand, it's disturbing, but also... hilarious. It's delightful. I think is the right term. There was something highly amusing about it.
I just giggled, and then when I saw more of them later, I giggled some more, and I was just like, "Oh, these are great. This is just so great," and it just cracked me up. So go look at that, enjoy it. You're welcome.
Or if you're disturbed,
you're also welcome.
You're welcome.
Let's go back to Zelda for real quick.
Okay. We're going to be going back there for months, Dudley.
Okay.
Let's just be
let's go back. I read the thing today that be careful if you start a new game.
Yeah.
So if you beat it and you start a new game, make sure you change profiles. Switch to a new profile if you want to keep your old save games. Apparently... As of right now, if you start a new game on the same profile, it will erase your old game.
That's Yeah, that's a little annoying.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I guess everyone's so used to, especially with Zelda games, the 3 save file model, which I don't know if the previous ones had done it. I know Link Between Worlds had like 3 save files or sync, but I don't know about
I don't know. They usually do, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
So be careful. Also, Nintendo has finally responded to the left controller switch problem. So like the connectivity issues. Apparently, what they're describing is a manufacturing variation. So it's not an actual hardware issue. It's just like a small percentage of them. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
But they said some words I don't understand.
Basically, they acknowledge there is some issues with some of them. If you are having trouble with them, to contact them, and you can do it on their website or whatever. And then if they realize if that's the issue, then you can send in your controller. They will fix it and send it back to you for free.
Okay.
So
there you go.
And they say it's about a week turnaround, so which is not bad.
Okay.
Depending on what region you're in, of course. But yeah, so if you have an issue with your controller, just contact them and they'll sort it out.
Okay.
I haven't had any issues at all except for that time I was at home. So
I think our because we have a cell phone repeater thing in our house, I think that was interfering with it.
I think it was. Too.
That's my guess, because it only seemed to happen when we moved to one side of the room, and that's where it was, and it kind of freaked it out.
Yeah.
It's my only guess. Otherwise, it was just being weird.
It was science. That's why science got involved. Okay.
I haven't had any trouble with it, but they're always attached to something. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So let's get into some rumor territory real quickly. So Game Freaks,
Rumorland.
Game Freak. This is not a rumor, but it's speculation.
Oh, okay. Speculation land.
Speculatron. I don't know.
Specaland.
We're not gonna do this. It's bad.
Landulation.
I don't know what you're saying.
Blah 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 blah.
Oh, Game Freaks.
This is how I die. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Game Freaks, the makers of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And most recently, Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Okay.
Posted job listings.
Okay.
That are leading people to speculate that they're doing a Pokemon for the Switch.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. You're more intrigued now that you own one.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm on the fence about Pokemon. This is hard for me to say. I like the game. I love the new one. I haven't played it that much.
I played mine a lot, but I haven't finished it, and I will get back to it eventually. Or maybe they'll just come out with it on the Switch, and I'll just play it all over again.
I fell into the same trap I always do with previous Zelda, recent and new Zelda games. I play it for a while, and I really like it, but it doesn't hook me enough that I keep coming back to it. I end up getting sidetracked easily, and so I haven't played it much.
I didn't have that problem with this one. I actually stuck to it. So
this one held me longer than previous ones, but I just haven't gotten myself back into it. Yeah. And now I have Zelda.
The reason there is speculation, because in the description for these, they're looking for people who can help model exaggerated toon-style people, monsters, and item models. Mm-hmm. What does that sound like?
It sounds like amiibos is what it sounds like. It sounds like... but
no.
But yeah, it sounds like Pokemon.
Yeah. So, and it's apparently it's only a job up till like May or something. So my guess is maybe it's a port. I don't know. Who knows? It could be something completely different because they do other games as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
maybe. Maybe they'll come out with like the third. You know, they usually come out with a third iteration of each. You know, maybe the third one will be on the Switch.
That was the rumor. A couple months back. Back in December, there was a rumor that's what was the case. So we'll see. It remains to be seen.
What do you think? Let's speculate very quickly on what we think the third one's name should be.
Pokemon. I got nothing. The rumor is Pokemon Star is the rumor.
Yeah, but Sun is a star, so that doesn't work.
That's
true. If I were going to do it, it would be Pokemon Eclipse.
How about Pokemon Uranus?
Well, you didn't even react. That's so good, Dudley. Why didn't you react to it the way I wanted you to? You should have been like, ooh, that's good. But you didn't. You denied me.
I'm sorry. Give it to me again.
Pokemon Eclipse.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't give a shit. Shut up.
Ew. That's nice. I like that. Do you like that better? Is that good?
Pokemon Astral Bodies.
Pokemon Asteroid.
Pokemon Meteor.
We should not be naming things. We are out of time.
Are you done with news? I'm sure you had more.
That was it. That was literally the last thing I had.
How unusual. Okay. Well, please go to our website at deafnddumb.com. That's DEAFNDUMB.com. At the top of the page is all the links to everything, iTunes, our Twitter page, our Facebook page, follow, subscribe, all that shit. And then you can find all our episodes there. We'll keep putting a new one out every Monday, and we've done it so far. Well, what is this, 58 weeks straight?
Yep.
And we're just going to keep on doing it. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Dan May.
And I'm Dudley May, and this has been Deaf and Dumb.
Deaf and Dumb.
Deaf and Dumb. Do, 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 do.